Hey guys, welcome back. I am SG. We are here talking about Ready to Love. Welcome back to my channel. This is a channel focused on life, love, and relationships. Let the Lady Speak is actually a podcast. So if you're interested in listening to my podcast at all, please go check me out on all podcast outlets and platforms. Also, guys, I have braces. It's a struggle sometimes. So if I'm smacking or anything like that, charge it to my braces and not to my heart, as the people will say. So we're talking about Ready to Love. This is technically season 4, but OWN says season 3 is on the OWN network. Nephew Tommy is the host. His wife wasn't on this episode. She was on the last episode. I don't know if it was just for that episode or if she's going to come back. But like I said before, I feel like this show needs some dating, some coaching, and some therapists on board. But we'll get into all of that later. But tonight is Mixer and Mingle. Remember, I am catching up because I've decided I'm going to start reviewing this show. So let's get started about what happened. My handy dandy iPad here is my notes. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. Get into it. All right. So they're at the meet. Dietrich gets there first. Dietrich's first response is first impressions are key, meaning the physical. And that's true. You do have to be physically attracted to someone. Some people have different ways of doing something, but there has to be an attraction. I know me personally, I don't go for physical attraction first. I'm a conversation person, but everybody is different, and most people really do go by physical attraction. So there definitely has to be an attraction there. Dietrich was the first guy to arrive, and that's what he said. He started talking about physical attraction. Dietrich reminds me like they call him Pawpaw. Stacy nicknamed him Pawpaw, or one of the ladies nicknamed him Pawpaw. He is definitely a Pawpaw, but I think it's kind of cute. It's kind of enduring. Stacy shows up next. I really like Stacy's energy. Stacy comes in, she's fun, she does good icebreakers. Like she lets you know that she's approachable, but she's not overexerting herself. She isn't too aggressive. Like, is it Alex? I think it's Alex or Alexis. I think her name is Alexis. Alexis kind of goes overboard. Stacy gives you just enough. She gives you, I'm a lady, I'm funny, I'm approachable, but you still need to do your due diligence and court me as a lady. I like that about Stacy. Vernisha comes next and she's wearing magenta. She looks so cute. And even with that, Stacy's like, come on with the magenta. And I like the fact that she doesn't appear threatened by any other women. She's excited to have a woman, like she knows what the show is about and she's willing to do what the show is about. So I like that. Bernicia says that she likes a man with nice teeth and smell good, and she can work with that. Benicia, baby, you are beautiful and you have children. I want you to raise your standards. That shouldn't be it. Like, I get it, but I get that those things are important, but they need to bring way more to the table. We need some integrity, communication skills, some coping skills, some, just more than good teeth and smelling good. You can get in a lot of trouble if those are the only two things that impress you. Troy, I'm gonna call him Touchy Troy. Troy is so inappropriate. I don't know how he got on this show. I really don't. I don't know if it was just for entertainment because they feel like he would be the wild card. I'm not sure, but Troy is wholly inappropriate. Okay. Troy is the uncle at the club. Troy is the one that wants you to come sit in his lap, on his lap at the cookout. Like, Troy's inappropriate. So he can't keep his hands to himself. And he always says, I love to travel, but he can't say where he's traveled. Like, where Troy, travel where? Travel, where, what? Travel. Elaborate, my darling. I need a little more from you. Because right now you're giving me real vagueness and I don't like it. Next we have Chris Anthony, I'm the female, but I'm gonna call her Chris. Chris she's like, if you don't keep in touch, then I don't want to be bothered. And to an extent, I do believe that a man should be very much intentional when they're trying to pursue a woman. But you also, there has to be some reciprocation. So it has to be reciprocal. And I don't know if she's willing to offer that. Chris is still a mystery to me. So we'll see how that goes as time goes on. But I don't know. I wasn't quite feeling the you have to keep in touch type deal. Not to say that you shouldn't want someone who pursues you, but it's just her, something about her approach. So I don't want to judge too soon. We're going to see. Next, AJ comes in. You know, the lady loves AJ, honey. AJ comes in shining like a diamond as far as they're concerned. And I'm not sold on AJ. There is just something is just, I'm not sold yet. So we'll see. I'm just not sold. But I got my eye on you, AJ. Let's see. The ladies love you because you have the look, but we're going to see if there's more substance there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Next, we have Liz and Dave. They connect over spirituality. They're singing songs, and I thought that was good. I thought it was cute. You know, you don't find that too often anymore. People usually hide their spiritual or religious beliefs, or they don't really say too much. But I like the fact that they bonded over that. And David needs a gentle spirit like Liz. I put that down because she seems to be empathetic and understanding, but I still stand by. I feel like he needs some work. I feel like, you know, he needs some therapy before he moves on to dating. But again, we'll see. I don't know him personally, but we're gonna find out what happens. And then Khalil. Khalil strikes me as the kind of guy that knows what he should have in a woman, but pursues the opposite of what he should have. Like he knows he should leave the feisty girls alone, but he's attracted to them, so he just keeps going. Like he is the teacher that mm, people misunderstand him. I bet you Khalil is something else and not necessarily in a good way, but uh I don't know. The lady said Khalil doesn't have any swag. And I would agree that he doesn't. So he doesn't come across confident. He doesn't come across comfortable in his own skin, which is, I think, what the ladies are looking for when they say with swag. Like he doesn't know how to have a conversation. Really, he's kind of guarded. I'm not sure if he's shy. I think a little of it is shyness, but I also think there's something else going on. I actually think there's just a part of him that he's hiding from everyone. I've been on dates with men like Khalil, and I'm gonna save my thoughts for later. But Khalil, I see you. Okay. Um, and I feel like there's a lot that he's just not saying. There's more to Khalil. Next, Jason takes Kyra away from Khalil. Jason's like, oh girl, you in this dress, because honey, Kyra came up in her emerald green dress. She looked gorgeous. All the ladies look nice. Um, this cast compared to other casts seems to be more down to earth. A lot of them are, you know, I can't say middle age because they're really not middle age, but they're more mature in age. I guess I can say that. It's just a different feel from some of the other people who you knew had other motives as far as being on the show. This cast seems to really, really want to find love. Like these are people who really want to date and find someone, because there's a lot of vulnerability with the men, which I am loving. Guys, keep it up. If you ever watch this review, I commend you for your vulnerability. I really, really do. So we'll see here. But Jason takes charge. He lets Khalil know. I mean, yeah, Kyra. Sorry, not Khalil. He lets Kyra know. I want to talk to you. So he pulls her away from Khalil. I thought that was interesting. That's the sign of a hunter, and he saw what he wanted and he went after it. Men, you should take note. If you're really interested in a lady, be very intentional. Not rude, not nasty, not bossy, not alpha. be very intentional when you are pursuing a lady. Let her know that you're really truly interested in her. And ladies, be open to it if that's something that you want. So then KG Smooth comes, girl, child, KG Smooth. He's going to mingle, he says, but I don't think so. I think he's just going to find someone and attach himself to that person like he did last episode. I also don't think KG Smooth is being completely transparent about what he wants and what he's looking for in a mate. And I think that needs to be explored more. Um, yeah, I won't say that he doesn't know. I just think that there is something else to be said, and he's going to try to mute himself into whatever the situation is if he likes you enough. But I believe what he said last season is true. I just think that, and what he said last season is that he feels like you should split the bills because independent women, he doesn't want an independent woman to feel away. And, Chris, KG, I just think there's something that you're not saying, my love. And you should just be honest and stand in your truth about what you're looking for in a woman so you can get it. A lot of people make that mistake with dating. They say what they think people want to hear instead of standing in their truth. Stand in your truth. What do you want? What are you looking for? What are your non-negotiables? All of that should be clear. So, KG, my love, my sexual chocolate, I need you to do that for me, okay? All right, next. Tommy comes in and Tommy announces that two people are going home, and the assumption is that it's going to be as previous episodes where it was one man and one woman. But I'm gonna spoiler alert, it was two men. Okay. So Ron is a little bothered because he feels like, excuse me, KG has an advantage because they brought him back and he already knows the process. But Ron, let me give you a piece of advice. What is for you is for you. No one could take it away. If you're meant to be on that show, stay on that show and find some love. You're going to find it. It doesn't matter if KG is there or not. So don't worry about KG. You just put your best foot forward and be intentional on finding someone for yourself. Okay. That's my advice. Next, Alexis is flirting with her son's coach. And I put it like that because I'm like, okay, if you're going to do this, you should kind of like have a conversation. And it could have been edited out. I don't know. I think it should just be more of a conversation like, how do you feel about this? Because this is this man's career and this could alter the dynamics between his relationship with his son and the team, right? So I just think that conversation needs to be had. And again, I don't know if it had been had or not, but I think that conversation needs to be had. And then also, the issue with Alexis is that she goes a little bit too far. She puts herself out there, but I would just like for her to reel it in just a little bit. Like take some notes off of Stacy. She flirts, she lets you know she's available, that she's approachable, but she isn't so much. That's why I said she keeps saying everybody talks to her about sex. Well, she puts that energy out there a lot, in my opinion. But I like her personality. I think she's fun and she's outgoing and she's entertaining. Sorry. But I'm just like, slow down a little bit, girl. Slow down. This is my Ida. So Ida comes. Ida's interacting. Ida says whatever. I think there's a lot of anxiety with Ida, just a lot of energy. I just don't feel like she's really comfortable in her skin. But Ida said, "Yeah, I see your ankles are lotion." I'm like, okay. And then she said something like someone was giving off gay vibes. I'm like, Ida, girl, like, no etiquette, Ida, etiquette, my love. But she's just a little awkward. Let's get to Amanda and Khalil. So Amanda and Khalil are off to the side having a conversation. Amanda asks Khalil, you know, what personality trait do you need to work on? Basically, what's your toxic trait? And Khalil's like toxic women or something like that, he said. And she's like, no, what's your trait? So, Khalil, she's trying to learn about you. She wants you to talk about you. But I think because I don't know, I just feel like Khalil, he's hiding part of himself, for one. For two, he's not showing that he's confident in social settings. This is why I say I think a coach or someone or a therapist or relationship team would be good for this show, because they can help people navigate through these things. Like, you can really see why some people may or may not still be single on this show, but there aren't any tools being offered to help them in the future. Because I really do believe that people who are seeking love should find love, and it shouldn't just be for entertainment, you know? But Amanda says she's an alpha, which I would be very careful. Let me just say this: masculine energy attracts feminine energy attracts masculine energy. So if you want a masculine man, you have to be the opposite of what it is that you're trying to attract when it comes to those two energies. So if you, a masculine man doesn't want a masculine woman, but most masculine women want masculine men, and it's just not going to work that way. You're going to get feminine men. So just be careful about how you present yourself when it comes to dating. What you do in your workplace, like, I understand she's an attorney. I think she's a district attorney. It comes out later, but she's an attorney and things like that. You know that you have to be a certain way in your workplace. But when it comes down to dating, you have to soften up a little bit. You have to leave that work you at home and bring the lady to the table. So that would be my advice to Amanda. Khalil just doesn't know how to communicate. He came off immature. He wouldn't answer the question. I think he was a little annoyed by the question. But you are an educator, so sir. So I would like to have seen you just rebuttal that a little differently. Or if you weren't comfortable with it, just say you're not comfortable with it. But he has this thing, he keeps talking about, like, the mean girls. Why are you choosing mean girls, Khalil? Because you're choosing them, you know. Why though? What is it about a mean girl? You like the assignment, don't you? I know you do. You like the drama and the toxicity of it all. You might should work on that before you move forward in a relationship, though, or seeking relationships, if that's something you really want to get away from. But I have a feeling that's his weakness. He loves himself a wild card. He likes a wild card. It does it for him. And that's the issue, because then it doesn't work out, because after a while it becomes too much. That's just my opinion. Joel is popular with the ladies, honey. Joel got his shirt buttoned down. Joel is talking to everybody. He's doing a good job. He's socializing. He's not inappropriate. He's funny. I like Joel though. Um, but he's doing a good job. He's making connections. He really likes Vernice. He really likes Vernisha. They have the family aspect in common, which is very important. You want to know, because I think she was talking to, I can't remember who Vernisha was talking to, and they wanted kids, and she was like, the store is closed, but AJ, but she pretty much was like, I'll give it a try. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you can have flexibility, but when right? You know what's okay and what isn't. If you know that this is okay and this is something that you want, meaning having another child, or whatever the standard is, whatever the requirement is, whatever the other person is asking, if you know that's not what you want, you need to verbalize that. Don't say, oh, don't be willing to acquiesce too soon, because later you guys end up resenting one another. One person think they can change the other person's mind. You just waste time and life and space. So don't do that to yourself, okay? If you know you don't want any more kids, for sure, say that. Don't say maybe because you're trying to get hooked up with someone, if that is the case, which I have a feeling it is, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, Joel's popular with the ladies. I like to see him interact too. Christian has a great smile. He's never been married. He has no children. The ladies are worried that Christian can't lead. I think I said in the first review that Christian talked about his sobriety and his issues with drinking in the past. I think he was a drinker for liquid courage reasons, and now he doesn't have that crutch. And you can tell his interactions are awkward, but I think he's a good guy with a good heart. He just needs to learn how he needs to deal with whatever that is that prevents him from like being himself and being comfortable and socializing with people. Or he will have to get a woman who's okay with that. But again, you may get someone who's way too masculine if you come across, I don't want to say feminine because I don't want to be disrespectful, but if you can't provide that masculine leadership, know what you want, decisiveness, that energy, you're going to end up with a woman of that sort approaching you. And I'm not sure, Christian, if that's something you're looking for. So you should really work on that, because you're a great guy. It seems like you have a beautiful smile and, you're a handsome guy and you have a, nice job. You have things going for yourself. You just probably should work on that. I'm not sure that this, again, was the fit for you. I don't know who's selecting the people. I don't, I'm not going to get into it. Okay. Troy running around taking every woman on the trip. Troy and his two liners. Let me tell you something. Troy is the reason why he is the type of man, he's one of the types of men that has caused women to be independent women, because Troy is going to be a player. He just doesn't know any better. Troy needs a male mentor. I would love to know Troy's backstory. Troy needs some male guidance and a true mentor. And he needs to get that old school player thinking out of the way. I have the kiss of the forehead. That's inappropriate. And the fact that you do everything to anyone just means you're not a genuine person. And it's not appealing. There's nothing sexy about what you're doing. There's nothing sexy about how you're carrying yourself. There's nothing attractive about your behavior, and you're wholly inappropriate. And I'm sick of it. Okay, Andrea. Andrea's over there talking about her cat, and Diedrich is like, I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. Andrea's talking about her cat, and Diedrich is like, okay, I don't want to talk about this cat. The cat is not dead, baby. Listen, talk about yourself, honey. They are there to get to know you. Open up about you and talk about yourself. But Diedrich, he was polite about it. He was nice about it, but he was like, yeah, okay. Let me go. I'm out. And I will say this about Andrea. This is one thing I really do like about her. Andrea will get gone in a heartbeat. When it's someone she doesn't want to talk to, she's like, okay, I gotta go. I'm not wasting my time. That I appreciate very, very much. Kyra puts AJ on the hot seat because they went on a date previously. So they have a little history. They've gone on a date previously. It was the second date that they had gone on, and she left her car and went to the bathroom and came back, and he basically, so they charged her card for the date. First off, you shouldn't have left your card. If you didn't want to pay, you shouldn't have left your card. Okay, that's number one. Don't play that kind of game. Like, don't play games, period. That is my advice. Don't play games. We are too old for the gameplay. Don't play games. And why are you leaving your card? And why are you leaving your card with a stranger anyway? I'm not. And if she was just running up a tab, how is it that that person knew to cash you out unless you said, okay, go ahead and cash me out? You know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of questions. There's some holes missing in that story. But the bottom line is, if you didn't want to pay, or if it's not your standard to pay, you shouldn't have left your card. I would have never left my card. I was on a date with a guy, and he invited me on a date. And I went to the ladies' room. I come back, the check is there. So the check is sitting there. And I'm sitting there looking at the check, and he's sitting there looking at the check. We both looking at the check. I'm not paying the check. I won't do that. Now we can split it. but I'm not paying attention. Check. But that's me. And I know other people are different. For me, during the courting stage, I don't do that. And especially on the first date. If that's what you wanted, we could have went Dutch. And you should have just said, are you interested in going Dutch? And I would have said no. But that's me. So my message is, ladies don't play games. Say what you mean and mean what you say, and carry yourself accordingly. But they ironed it out supposedly. I don't think it's going to be a dead issue though. And they've moved on. But all the ladies love AJ. I think part of the Kyra was trying to put a little salt in the game. I'm not sure. We'll see as the season goes on. Khalil and Christian are on the chopping block, and Khalil gets chosen to go home. And KG Smooth is sitting there like a deer in headlights. The poor baby. He is like, I don't want to go home again. No, Chris, KG, you're safe for now. You're not going home. Christian feels a little more relieved now because I think he thinks that he's safe, but dun dun dun. Yeah, don't worry about this. I had to put my bun up so I have hair hanging in the back, but it's okay. So Alexa, is it Alexa or Alexi? You guys know who I'm talking about. It's flirting with Touchy Troy. Here go Touchy Philly. Oh, I'm going on a trip. He is just so, oh my God. He's just so inappropriate. Like he doesn't know how to read a room. He doesn't understand boundaries. He goes too far. And ladies, when you run into a man like him, you have to be firm and set your boundaries. He'll leave you alone. But if you give him a little play, he's going to keep coming because he feels like he can convince you to be inappropriate. Like with someone like him, cut him off at the throat. Like, no, brother, keep your hands to yourself. Get out my space. And, stop asking everybody to go on a trip. Oh, we can go on a trip. Where? And then he said Cancun. If you travel the world like you said, you gonna take me to Cancun? Now, don't get me wrong. I love to travel, and I will be grateful, to go on a trip. But you talk like you doing it up. Cancun would be the last place I would think that you would think of as your first date trip. Just saying. But it's a college town. Like that's crazy. You're 51. So my Ida is talking to Jason, and she won't let Jason get a word in edgewise, honey. I think it's nervous energy. Maybe she had too much to drink, but just, a conversation is an exchange between two people. So Ida, just work on having a conversation and allowing a person to speak, my love. Too cute. Kyra, I talked about this. Kyra calls out AJ about the bad date. I think she should have put him to the side. I think she still wants him. But I think AJ is full of it. I think either AJ was offended that she left the card and was like, well, if that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. Or he had the view of, well, she's an independent woman, so if she's gonna pay, she's gonna pay. But now he's kind of backpedaling. I don't really believe the story. And if his card did get declined, like, why are you dating? You didn't check your cards and check your money before you went out. So that's concerning to me. I really think that AJ just decided not to pay. That's what I think. But don't leave your card out. Don't leave your card with strangers, and don't leave your card out if you don't really want to pay. Don't reach to pay if you don't really want to pay. I hear guys say, if she just reaches. No, let's not play games. Let's say what it is. I think when you're talking on the phone before you take someone out on a date, you guys should have that conversation on whether or not you're traditional. How do you feel about paying for dates in Dutch and all of that? I think that's the conversation you should have, so there will be no surprises. That's just me. Next we have Ron and Andrea speaking. And Brian tells Andrea, because she's a flight attendant. I would think you would want to stay home if we have a family. I would, here's the thing, Ron. That is a conversation you have further along, or this is a suggestion as to how you should ask that question. Are you open to or opposed to staying home once you have children? What are your thoughts on that? Not, I will want you to stay home, he, because you mean what you're saying. So stop laughing. You mean it. That's number one. And number two, you don't know her well enough. You don't know this woman. You don't know what she's been through, why this job may be important to her. Like, you just can't decide to come into someone's life and make demands. You can say, I'm looking for a traditional type family structure where my wife is home with the children. Say that. And she can say that's not for her. And then you guys can go your separate ways, but be mindful of your approach. Again, I put Troy has boundary issues. Troy has boundary issues. This is just one big club to him. He just felt like I'm gonna be on this show and I'm gonna get all the ladies. Troy is problematic, honey. Problematic. Um, Christian and Kyra were talking, and then Christian went and got water, and Kyra left him. I thought that was sad because really, honestly, like I said, I think he's a nice guy. I just think he just needs some help, and I don't know what she's doing with that. You should have just left him alone as far as I'm concerned. Um, so they're standing outside. It's cold outside. You can see everyone's breath. Everyone put their coats and minks and shawls and things like that on. So it's a little cold, but it's pretty much the end of the episode. They sent Christian home. They felt like Christian wasn't ready to love. And Christian, I want you to go and just work on yourself. And he said that he believes he has to go after what he wants. Yes, that is part of your masculine energy. Go after what you want, communicate what you're looking for, take charge of the situation. So Touchy Troy should have been the one to go home, though. I think Khalil and TT should have gone home. I don't think it should have been Christian. But I also know that Christian maybe wouldn't have gotten far, but I think the ladies would have warmed up to him. But Troy is problematic. I'm so sorry. He just is. I can't. He is, oh, anyway. So thank you guys for tuning in to my recap on Ready to Love. I don't know if I'm still going to do it in this structure. What I really think I'm gonna do is just give like my thoughts as far as dating advice, but I don't know. We don't know. We'll see. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out my podcast. It is Let the Ladies Speak. And you have a beautiful, wonderful day. I love you for who you are. Take care. Mwah. Thank you for letting me speak. Bye-bye.